Hello animators, it's time for you to customize Maya. So, step 1, you go to your new scene. Step 2, let's look and see how we can make this a more comfortable space for you to work in. Step 1, you can of course redesign your workspace. You always have options for what types of workspaces you can create or cycle through. Expert modeling, as you can see, there's a sculpting setup, there's a rigging setup, pretty intense, a rendering expert setup, also pretty intense. And if not, you can make your own workspace as well. But by default, one of the things that I really like to do is to just pull certain things out, like the outliner, so that it's something that I can take off screen when I need to and drag it on. I have a 2-screen setup, so it's kind of nice. The other thing I really like to do is press the space bar and then hide whatever parts of the interface I don't need. So if I'm not animating, I can hide the time slider and the range slider and give myself a little bit more space so that I can get work done. The other thing I really like to do is set up hotkeys. So if you need to set up your hotkeys, go into your settings and preferences. If you notice, there's a little hotkey editor over here, and you will see something like this. So for those of you who've never seen a hotkey editor that's this crazy, that's fine. Maya is fun. What you need to know is that the bright green or the green keys are ones that already have a hotkey assigned to them, and the gray ones do not. So you can tell Maya has a lot of hotkeys, but we also have the option to create hotkeys by using modifiers. A modifier is when you press down something like Control O or Control N or Control Q, which would open, make a new file, or quit. You could absolutely use that. Or you can use Alt, or you can use Shift, or you can do a Control Shift, or Control Alt, or Control Alt and Shift, which, a lot of pressing down of keys, will allow you to create more hotkeys for yourself. So let's get started. The first hotkey I usually try to make is one for the outliner, because then I can get back some precious real estate from my window, close this up, and still be able to open it on command without having to dig through my windows and finding the outliner in there. So if you want, let's make one for the outliner. We go into the application command menu, the side of that, start typing in outliner, and you can see here is the outliner window. Next to it, the third column, which isn't very visible, I admit, you can put in a hotkey. My favorite hotkey for this comes with an Alt modifier. Somehow my hand just kind of goes there, and I do a / so that I can then apply that to this place. Notice I don't hit enter when I set the hotkey. I just clicked outside of that box so that it will save it to where I want to go. The next hotkey I really enjoy making is the node editor, just because the node editor is one of the other places that I go to very often. So I'll go over here, set up a hotkey. I can again come back to my modifier, or I can choose a different one if I want, or I can choose not to have a modifier at all and just go with the number 8, which seems to be available even without any modifiers. Once that's done, again, resist the urge to hit enter. Just come back over here or anywhere else, click, and that will be done. So now that we've done these 2 hotkeys, I can hit save and close. And let's test them out. If you hit 8, does the node editor open up? Yes, it does. And I'll close this, hit 8 again, it'll come back here. If I do Alt / there's my outliner. And once you remember your own hotkeys, it becomes even better. Now, the cool thing about the hotkey editor is it's not just about getting your editors to open up. You can actually repeat commands of any commands that are available in your menus. which means if you're somebody who likes to do a lot of modeling and you need, say, the insert edge loop tool, you can see over here, I can set up a hotkey for the insert edge loop tool. So I can do something like hold down shift and set up a hotkey there. I can do control, set up one of these hotkeys. I can come back to alt and I can do more here. So if I need to, I usually try to have different modifiers for different categories of tools. So all of my editors might come under the alt modifier. All of my tools might come into the shift or the control modifier. And I can come over here and click this. And there I've got my insert edge loop tool. And I can once again hit save and close, and let's test it out. Control, there you go. It's now telling me that I can click drag on edges, which means I have my insert edge loop tool available and working. And that is all you need to know for your hotkeys.